Welcome back to page 121. Today we're going to take a look at one of my favorite books from the late 80s, 101 Vehicles by DGP, Digest Group Publications. This was a subsidiary licensee, I guess, really, of Game Designers Workshop. And they put out some really quality stuff, and their stuff was so good, they kind of took over the early design of the Megatraveller line. Megatraveller has a place near and dear to my heart, being the follow-up to Classic Traveller. We played Megatraveller for a fair number of years. This book has a lot of goodness in it. It's kind of dated by today's standards, having been published in '88, but there's still some features in here I like. The book itself is broken into three parts: military vehicles, paramilitary vehicles, and civilian vehicles. I like that. We don't have them mixed inside. We don't broken out by tech level. We've just got them in here by grouping. So we're going to take a look at the way they presented these vehicles and talk a little bit about the vehicles, how I used them in my campaign, how I used them in other campaigns. Gamma World, Star Frontiers, I used this book for both. So today on page 121, a look at 101 vehicles. 101 Vehicles from Megatraveller by Digest Group Publications. This was published in 1988. That would put it hard on the heels of the original Megatraveller, which was published in '87. Megatraveller, of course, was the update to Traveller. Traveller's rule system by the mid-'80s was feeling a little dated. It needed some updating. Megatraveller did that, and Megatraveller was done primarily by Digest Group Publications, and they were a licensee of Game Designers Workshop. So it's kind of interesting that a lot of the core mechanics for Megatraveller came from DGP, but that was just kind of neat. It's how gaming was at the time, and I thought it was a good move on Game Designers Workshop's part. But as part of this, we got a bunch of excellent supplements from DGP, and this is one of them. This is one I used a lot. I know that DGP stuff is out of print right now and not available in Drive-Thru-RPG. I am featuring this just to kind of show what was in the book and how it led the way for other things like Mongoose's vehicles and things like that. Plus, frankly, I really like the book. I just thought I'd share it with you. So we take a look inside, and the first thing we see in the inside cover is 3 color illustrations. And they've got the numbers 15, 24, and 32. These are vehicle number 15, 24, and 32 of the 101. When you go to their place in the book, I'll go to number 15 to show my point. There's 15, it just says C in front cover. I thought that was kind of cool because it gave us a chance to get a look at 3 color vehicles, but we still stayed to the name of the book, 101 Vehicles, because that's how many are in here. And basically, this goes over the format. The credits are, vehicle designs are by Rob Caswell, William W. Connors, Joe Fagati Sr., Howard Leidner, Letha Parker, Nancy Parker, Robert Parker, and Tom Peters. Art direction by Rob Caswell. And I know that there's been a lot of knock that Megatraveller had a lot of design flaws and a lot of errata, and some of their vehicle stuff just wasn't the best and all that. I get that. That doesn't change my love for Megatraveller or for these vehicles. I am not a gearhead. I'm not out there designing vehicles for every version of Traveller, and I'm not looking at the layout here and seeing what's right and what's wrong. That's not me. I take the vehicle, I take the look, I put it into my game, and the vehicle becomes part of the game. It becomes part of the environment, part of the territory. I'm not going to worry too much if there's a little off here and there. I realize that there are people that really like that aspect of the game, and I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying where I come from. So when I look at these vehicles, it's more from aesthetic and a gameplay point of view, and the gameplay, of course, is as pertains to role-playing. So here we go. We get the opening credits. We get the format of how they're going to do it. And then any of these vehicles, if it doesn't say a specific race, it defaults it to being an Imperial vehicle. So for instance, the Tech Level 6 Penetrator armored car, because it doesn't say the Aslan armored car, it is an Imperial vehicle. That's kind of a good way to do it. We have a Tech Level 6 Divine Retribution light battle tank. I like the lower tech level stuff, one of the more fun things to do in Traveller is to put your players into a situation where maybe they have to deal with a tech level 6 tank with some of their tech level 12 gear. That could be a lot of fun. So we continue on through the military vehicles. One thing I did like, and I don't know that I would still want to see this in games today, but I would like some kind of analog, is I liked the silhouette that DGP put in to show the scale. So now we know, based on an average-sized human, how big the vehicle would be. So here's the hover buggy. I just thought that was kind of nice. It helped it fix it in my brain as to how big it was, and just its overall size, and helped me in the description. Having these pictures to show too did help. So I'm just paging through, showing what was here. We've got the Stormtrooper APC. Star Wars was only a few years old by this, or 11 years old total, and the last film had been out 5 years prior to this. Okay, here we go. A Vargir Buccaneer Grav platform. Just a basic flying garbage can. He's going to go up in the, what would be the gondola basket on a balloon and fly around and scout. And there's a Vargir for scale. So I really enjoy this book. I like grav tanks. I'm a big fan of grav tanks. I love fly cycles. One thing about Traveller is generally you don't get too many grav tanks. You can, but it's got to be a very specific campaign, a mercenary campaign or some kind of military campaign. If your player characters are on the business end of a grav tank, that can be a bad way to end the campaign. So I played BattleTech for many years. Big fan of BattleTech. I like tanks. I like them. But Traveller does not lend itself too much to sticking tanks in a lot. But when you get down to the Dinsha Servu Recon vehicle, here's a Strider, a chicken walker from Star Wars. Soleimani Scud Recon ACV, tech level 12, and an APC, tech level 12. I mean, these are just really cool. Blitzkrieg light tank, it's a tech level 13, but it's got treads. That's interesting. And that's a Soleimani Blitzkrieg. This is a Darien Yorin light tank. And then a Darien Hunter AC tank. That's pretty cool. Air cushion. And we got a recon drone there. And just throughout the book. Now, I mentioned at the top that I use these for Gamma World and I use these for Star Frontiers. I did. A lot of these vehicles, especially the Aslan stuff with the sleeker lines, fits very well into some of the later illustrations for Gamma World. So I would pull this book out for Gamma World if we had vehicles that we were dealing with, and I would just point to it and say, okay, this is what your bubble car looks like. You know, I might use the Zodani Attack Speeder as a bubble car or a flit car. They don't look exactly like that, but I thought this gave a pretty dynamic feel to it. An Aslan Lightning support vehicle. Aslan Thunderer Grav support vehicle, tech level 14. These would be very good for death bots and things like that in Gamma World. Also translates nicely to Star Frontiers, Space Opera, any of that kind of stuff. Speaking of Star Frontiers, just a little note. I've said in the past that I only played Star Frontiers in the 90s, but I thought I might have played in the 80s. I couldn't remember exactly. And my buddy that I hadn't talked to in a while got back in touch with me, and he did confirm, yes, we did play in the 80s, and it's starting about 84. So we weren't right there when it first came out, but we did play it early on. We didn't play it for very long, and he ran most of them, although I did run a couple of games. Once he reminded me of it, I went back and I checked where those notes would be, and I did find some of my old notes from it. So it's kind of neat to confirm that we did indeed play Star Frontiers in the 80s. So back to the point at hand, with the 101 vehicles, again, these make really good sci-fi illustrated vehicles for anything. And in the 80s, we didn't have any internet. You had to kind of take what you could get. And if you could get yourself a bunch of nice pictures of a bunch of nice vehicles, you wanted to go ahead and do that. So here we go. I especially like the Zodani, the G carrier there. I like the police speeder. We're into the paramilitary vehicles now. I kind of missed where that started, right here. Number 37 starts with paramilitary vehicles. So then we go through a lot of these guys. I like the Dashi Hunter foil. This would be a good thing for like a safari thing, or this say a high-tech watercraft with grav thrust propulsion. So that would be fun for a water world. These are just neat. I remember using this guy in Gamma World as something on Lake Michigloom. The players had to get out to an island, and they had a couple of these. They're basically just jet skis with an attitude. So here we are finishing out the paramilitary vehicles, and number 53 starts our civilian vehicles. And we got the Shackleton Explorer, just a regular ground car, an all-terrain vehicle, Jackrabbit ground car. We've got a little motorcycle, a Vargear motorcycle no less. Just all kinds of fun things. We've got a 18-wheeler, air cushion vehicle for the Ronar Scout, the Aquanaut restaurant. It's an undersea restaurant that gives beautiful panoramic undersea views. And as you see, the write-ups for the civilian vehicles are actually smaller. They're able to cram a lot more on a page than they were. So than they did for the paramilitary and the military vehicles. Refrigerated delivery van. I love the depth that this went into, because you can have a campaign, or a game rather, where you need to smuggle somebody in, so you do it inside a refrigerated van. Hopefully they have thermal suits, but otherwise you have a planes, trains, and automobile situation. But here you go. Just all kinds of fun things. A Windbrider weather lab, that could be a good thing to drop on a planet as part of the observation. You get the Caseline G-tube, the Grav bike. I mean, that's very Star Wars looking. An actual mobile repair shop, which I've always liked. I've used those in several, especially a mercenary campaign. You're going to have a lot of use for those. Grav yacht. Yachts are fun. I use them as gaming backgrounds more than anything else. I've never been a big fan of yachts zipping about space. They just seem like they had targets painted on them. But that's my feeling on them. I know yachts can be armored and armed and things like that, but I don't know. We got a prospector's bubble. Just all kinds of fun things. A construction vehicle. We've got a Hiver personal grav sled, which is really neat. Peter Pan child's float chair. So you can just have your kid kind of zip around the house in a little grav chair. Tech level 15. A grav lounge. Just all kinds of stuff. And true to what they said, here we are ending at 101 vehicles with a tech level 16 Hermes grav landing shuttle. So that's pretty nice too. For the Olympus planetary pleasure cruisers, this would be the subordinate craft that would get you to and from the planet's surface. So high tech all the way, comfort all the way. And then of course, a nice little index to show us where this stuff is. And then the back cover, we get more of the color images, which we just saw, including the Meteor Speeder, a tech level 15 speeder. Just a little fun way to get from point A to point B on the planet. So that's all the book has. It's exactly what it says, 101 vehicles. No real new rules or anything in here. No new not classes, it's the wrong word. No more skills or careers or anything in here. Just 101 vehicles. I enjoyed this, and I used it much the same way I used 101 robots in Traveller, but also in other games. So that's really all I've got to say. As I say, I realize that the DGP stuff is out of print. This is by way of keeping their thought and memory alive, and also a way of maybe kicking the copyright holders in the butt and saying, hey guys, there's a market out here for this. So that's all I've got to say today for page 121. Please, if you like what you heard and saw, please like and subscribe. Leave a comment. Polite criticism is always welcome. Tell your friends interested in the channel, interested in getting ideas from you as to what you want to see. Any ideas are more than welcome. I consider everything I'm given. If it's a game I'm not familiar with or I don't own, I either see if I can get it, or I'll just let you know. That's not something I can cover. But any suggestions are welcome, and comments, polite criticisms are welcome. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time on page 121.